Messy Mondays. Your girl showed me.
So I went to the shop,
Your girl
the one that you recommended. It's over here in a new gentrification area, which is Little Haiti.
Yes. Oh my God. I went to that new little space that was in Little Haiti. It's like a
Yes.
cute, like little restaurants and stuff. Super cute. And then it was
Yes.
got Mad Hood at the same time. I was like, I love this. As long as
Yeah.
everyone gets to share in it, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
But it's happening. Like, you see the facelift, like you see the process, you see it really taking place. So I went to the little place there, and it was really awesome. And the one that you recommended to me, I learned a lot of stuff about the crystals and the energies
Yay.
and I didn't know. You know that those stones that you get when you like go on a cruise or like on a Caribbean vacation. And it's like the colorful, beautiful stones that looks like a rock from the ocean. Mm-hmm. And it's like beautiful crystals. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that was part of this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've always thought that was beautiful because it's like it comes from the earth and you get such beautiful pieces of like, I don't know how to say it, furniture decor from the ocean. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I learned about that, and I learned about how when you are attracted to a certain stone, just allow it to build a connection.
Yep.
And that sometimes you might feel a little too much, and you know that stone may not be for you. So, I don't know. It was interesting. I liked it. They invited me to come to one of their yoga classes one day. I might go. You know those places that have like yoga once a week and like whatever. So I might do that. I don't know. I actually was very pleased with my experience.
I'm happy to hear that. When I woke up that morning and I saw your message, I was like, ooh, sure. I'd love to explain. I'd love to dive deep. It's greatly enlightening, and I'm glad you enjoyed it and liked it. And did you get your sage or what you needed?
I did get my sage, and I did the sage today. It was nice. It was very calming. I don't know how to explain it. It kind of feels as if part of it is mental, and it's like you put yourself in this space that you feel positive and you want to channel positive energy, and like so you mentally have to get there. But regardless, like I don't know, it's a combination of the smell and the process. I don't know. It's very therapeutic. I can definitely say that.
It is. Especially when you like have just cleaned your apartment top to bottom and everything's kind of feels new, and then that smell of sage or like that feel of all that just kind of moving, and even just putting essence on incense on makes it a difference also. So it has like that little feel to it. So it's a really good experience and really clean. And there is a new moon today, which is just kind of like a start because we were in Mercury retrograde, which is where like shit is just upside down.
Okay.
Like things will just feel really out of place.
Okay.
Or like sometimes, like for me, sometimes like none of my technology works. Like everything will just be fucking broken and you just be like, what the hell is happening?
Wow, okay.
And that's like, you'll be like, I'm in Mercury retrograde. Remember when my car was breaking down?
Yeah.
The phone wasn't working. The laptop don't work. All that was happening at once. We were in Mercury retrograde and I was feeling that shit. And you feel it hard.
Wow.
You feel it hard. So we're in a new moon and we're transitioning into that. And that's tonight. So
wow, I guess I picked the right day to do all of this.
You did?
Yeah, it was nice. And this morning I started my morning off by going to the beach. And like, I was in the ocean. And that was like such a therapeutic way to start the day.
Yes.
Like, it's like I'm definitely going to keep doing that. And since now I live so much closer to the ocean, like it's like there's no excuse. You feel me? Like I can totally make this happen. And it's something that I truly enjoy. So, I decided I'm going to start incorporating that like in my every other week, maybe taking a Sunday to kind of just vibe out at the beach and relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sundays are like the best days for it. It's like a real good reset button before that Monday starts when you're getting into work.
Yeah.
When the shit's got to hit you hard when you get into work.
And I got a little sun and I feel like my skin has a little bit of enrichment right now. So it feels good,
And you soaked up more energy.
Yeah.
So if you did get any crystals, put those out in the sun as well to soak up different energy, to recharge and those kind of things.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. And I don't know. We may have recruited a new person that's going to be kind of 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Let's see.
It's like it's all within your self being and what you're really into. Like I have friends who are super deep. Like I text them now, like there's a new moon. What do I need to do? What you want me to do? Or like what should I do?
Yeah.
And there's some who are just like on their own wave and things like that. So I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It was very cool. More to come, my guys. More to come.
Awesome. We're getting into episode 32. Well, this is a great start.
Episode number 32. This is a fantastic start. Yes, it is.
I'm loving this. Last week we covered a lot.
We did.
We had a fantastic kind of conversation with Adriana.
Yes, Adriana, yes.
Adriana out of San Diego. And our topic was age ain't nothing but a number.
Yes, and it was such an interesting topic. And you know what was the best part? Like, I got so much real positive feedback from the listeners. They were like, wow, I really enjoyed this episode. This was like super motivating. Like, it touched them. I think that a lot of women, seriously, Marley, I can't believe it, were dealing with a struggle of not understanding if they were the only ones dealing with that level of insecurity about dating somebody younger. Like, it's like a really common thing right now.
It is. I actually have a comment from someone. I got a text message and they're like, I listened to your podcast. And I was like, all right. And it was like a long message. I did not expect this message, okay?
Okay.
But, and I won't give them their name. She goes, I don't think I can date, I don't think I can give these younger guys a chance. Your guest person on the show dated a younger guy when the times were very different. 19 to 24-year-olds have the highest STD rate, so I would be nervous all the time because they're probably the least faithful. On the other hand, I've been dealing with the fuckboy for 2 years now on and off who's 9 years older and has never been in a relationship. And this thinks it's okay that his availability to see me is between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m.
Oh my God.
He has no idea how to have a real relationship. So at the end of the day, it's about experience. I mean, there's a lot to unravel there.
First of all, let's not make the mistake to believe that just because a person is older and clearly has commitment issues, they can't have an STD as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't just sit here and be like, only the 19 to the 24-year-olds are over here walking around fucking infested. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this older dude could have really bad habits and probably doesn't wear condoms. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that are living their lives like that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's true. It's a valid point on both ends. And it is, at the end of the day, experience. It's about the person. It's their experience, what they're gone through, what they happened. Like,
but why does the STD thing even have to matter? Like, maybe your friend doesn't use protection because at the end of the day, in the beginning, you shouldn't be having unprotected sex anyway. So it's like by the time you guys get close, and I'm not even doing this like a PSA. I'm doing this like I feel like we're all adults now and we should take this type of shit seriously. Like in the beginning, don't have unprotected sex with people. Like it's really that simple. And then you have to build trust, and then you should be responsible enough to check yourself out. Expect your significant other to do it as well before you decide to just go in there.
Go all raw dog and have fun.
I'm saying we're adults now. You know what I mean?
But there is a statistic that nowadays most adults are not using protection. The people are just going for it.
Right.
People are just they're not using, and so we do need to be careful, regardless if they're older or younger. You just never know anyone's habits.
So I really don't think that she needs to hesitate to date the younger guy, because if it's about that, then you need to be responsible and wear condoms, honey.
Yes.
Okay.
Please protect yourself and protect your magic at all times. And on that, and speaking of magic, there was magic last night, Saturday night, which was Sunday morning for y'all in the East Coast. But this is the absolute one positive of living on the West Coast is Coachella happens here, and that shit was streaming live, and I could just be in my bed at 11 o'clock at night.
Wow, so awesome. How awesome is that? My God.
As opposed to the East Coast having to set their alarms for 2 o'clock in the morning to get up and watch Beyonce. So which a lot of my friends did, which was awesome.
What happens with the with the YouTube thing about Coachella? Is it there that people can still watch it, or you can only watch it live?
You know what? I have not gone back.
Okay.
I have not gone back. It might still live there. It might be there, but I think the live experience of it all was major.
Okay.
And people like texting me, and I was going back and forth with people text messaging.
Oh, how awesome.
And going on Twitter, and people are just having reactions and like legit dying. I had a friend who actually works kind of like a hand stage kind of person. So he already was trying to spill the beans on Facebook what was happening. So I already knew Destiny's Child was happening, but I told him to shut his ass up before he gets sued by Beyonce and people. So he was trying to share. He just kept repeating, "It's epic, it's epic." I didn't know it's going to be 2 hours long.
Wow.
2 hours of pure goddess. And it was, I didn't go to, like, I think it ended for me at 2 something in the morning, which meant it was 4 something in the morning on the East Coast or whatever, 5 for everybody over there on the East Coast who's watching.
Yeah.
So I went to bed super hyped up. I didn't go to fall asleep till like 3, 4 in the morning because I was hyped. So that's the energy she was giving through the TV, through YouTube. So shout outs to YouTube also for not flinching. That shit was fire. Did not flinch.
Damn, that shout out to you. You know what? That they prepared for that. You feel me? Like, that's what that translates to. Like, they were ready for the influx of people that were going to be watching something live.
There was over 400,000 people on that YouTube page.
Wow.
At the same time.
That's powerful, y'all. Those are numbers, guys. That's powerful. Like, when you really think about, like, where we are right now in contact and in the ability to experience at, like, moments of time, like, we are really in a very advanced space.
Yes.
Like, we are.
We're very
have
far.
to say that. We are.
And there's moments where I realize that and I stop.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is you can get very sucked in, you can get very deep, you can get very, lost in a lot of these things when it comes to social media and it comes to internet and it comes to things you participate in. And so you try to pull back a little bit, but you can get, it was amazing last night and being with everyone in one space. Like, you felt those people and her through the internet. So that's one of the times the internet is a plus in our lives.
Nice. Very nice. I love it. Shout out to Queen B for always giving us a great show. I saw that you posted it on the IG. For those of you who follow us on IG, make sure to check that post out. She really gave us a real life experience of the Beyonce performance, guys. That's at Messy Mondays Podcast on Instagram. So please check that out. Our gracious host, Miss Marley Mar, did that for you guys. So
she was Millie rocking, and I was like, there's no denying that. There's no denying. There's no denying a hard ass 30 Millie rock that she did. Okay.
Yes, that's awesome. She's awesome. You know what's funny? I mean, I am going to talk about the networking event that She Means Business that I did on April the 12th at the WeWorks building in downtown in the Securities building. Yeah, that was a major plug. I just had to put it out there.
Major plug. I love it.
But aside from that, I want to mention I was part of the coordination of this event. It was me and a team of 2 other young ladies that really put a lot of effort into it. So shout out to you girls if you guys are listening. Vanessa and Jen, we put a lot of work into it. So girl power, teamwork, all that. So
nice.
Yeah, there was a slideshow playing in the background, and that was playing while the panelists were actually speaking and giving their responses and having like a intimate conversation with us, which is the environment we wanted to create. And in the slideshow, there was like quotes and like female inspiration stats about women in the workforce, like a random little things to stimulate the eye. And one of the slides was just of Beyonce wearing like her captain's hat, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And, she looks fierce and her eyes are like done up with really heavy dark makeup. So, Beyonce, you know what I mean? Like she looks like a superwoman in this picture. So when we put the picture, that gave such an like people in the crowd were like, yes, like it was just such an amazing reaction. Mind you, we were talking about like cryptocurrencies and like blockchain. Like it is like, we put Beyonce up there, and this crowd obviously is such a versatile crowd. It's like, they're like, yes, everybody was just like inspired by her, and I think that's dope. So that was my Beyonce moment. So I thought it was a perfect segue as well because
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. But just to give you guys a little bit of a brief background about the people that we had as panelists, I thought it was cool, and I would love to maybe even have them on the show one day, Mar, because it was really interesting people. Like I had this one lady, her name was Jessica Bergman. She was a software portfolio advisor for Software One US. I thought she was really dope because I just want to share women's accomplishments whenever I can so that we can inspire one another. That's part of my 2008 goal. That's my
2018.
contribution. I mean, 2018. I'm sorry. That's my contribution to trying to help the movement, right? Let's just try to self-empower, whatever. So she grew a company from 125 million profit to about an $8 billion profit.
Nice.
In the South Florida market. Like, I feel like, wow. You feel me? Like, these are like powerful women.
That's ginormous.
Ginormous. And then they have this other woman. Her name was Bianca Diosdado. She was really amazing. She's Latina. She's Mexican from Texas, but moved to South Florida years ago. So, you know, she's like everybody else. Like, you know, we're all transplants. So she's actually the CEO of Octagon Talent Solution and Query Blockchain Consulting Services.
Nice.
And she basically in 6 years went from technical recruiter at Octagon Technology to director of IT to then becoming the CEO. And she explained how she pretty much developed this relationship with her supervisor. She helped expand the business into 3 different locations just through her initiative and her power, and then eventually she bought out her boss. Like, that's amazing. Like, she's a
That's
dope
awesome.
chick. That was really cool. And there was another girl, her name was Michelle Bertrand. This chick is like perfect. When I say perfect, like, you know, when you look at someone and they work out and it's like, wow, your body's perfect. Because you're not like masculine, but like you could tell like she's really toned up. And like she has a nice Latina shape because she's also Latina. So it's like, I mean, I guess for us, women like us, like we feel like that is, to me, it's like, wow, this chick is perfect. You feel me? Like very, very pretty girl, super in shape, but like badass. And like she went to school for like broadcast journalism and she graduated from here, from UM. And then she decided like that's not really her passion. And she opened up her own like boot camp gym, and it's called Fierce Fit Miami in the warehouse down here for like, she's had it open for about 2 years, and it's like a super successful gym out here, man. Like, it's so dope. So it's
That's
like,
awesome.
I share this with us and our crowd and our listeners because I want to inspire. I think it was cool. Obviously, we all can't go to each other's events, but since I did something that I felt was very enriching to our community, I feel like we should support one another and highlight when people do amazing shit that are women.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Tell us when the next one is so we can make sure to post it on Messy Mondays, and you guys can definitely, those of you in the Miami area or in the South Florida area in general who can travel and go check out the next upcoming opportunities and discussions, because those are really good people to have in there. And
oh my God,
me as a person who works in the blockchain industry and cryptocurrency and a part of all that that's happening in that finance world, or in that fiat kind of world of things. It's pretty awesome and intriguing and exciting and risky.
And it's the future.
Fun.
It's the future.
It is. It is. It definitely
is. And it's like, you know, not to get too heavy into that, because I think that we should probably plan out an entire episode about this. It's amazing, guys, that we're part of the point in history when currency is going to change. Like, this is a big deal. So it's like we're part of this process right now in history when currency is going to become something else. But we'll talk about that another time. Also, very big shout out to Fast Capital Financing. You can follow them at Fast Capital, spelled that same exact way. Fast Capital on IG. This is an alternative funding company for small businesses. So if you're seeking to get a loan for your business, you can contact me directly at any time. I know you guys have my following. You can hit me up on Messy Mondays or at showme_ENT or at Fast Capital. Because if you're a small business owner and you're looking for alternative lending, make sure to look into this option. I say that because that was one of the reasons why we had the event, is because we want to teach business women how to be successful in business. And part of the reason why there's not as many women in business is because there's a lack of education on how to be a businesswoman. So we have to give each other these tools, and you'd be surprised. I work in this industry on my professional side outside of Messy Mondays, and 70 to 80% of the people that are our clients are all males. And I feel like those numbers are alarming. And that just demonstrates that women don't understand all of their options. So I'm done with that now. Okay, she means business. Okay, so we could definitely hop on that at another time. But we definitely still want to keep everybody in the loop check out episode 31 of last week if you didn't hear it. AJ Nine by the number. Thank you for Adriana for being a guest. Shout out to San Diego, Southern California. You guys have been supporting us in a big, really heavy way, and we really appreciate it. And we want to take over the entire state of California, not only Southern California. So Cali, we out here. You feel me? So here you go. Now, let's talk about, speaking of, since we're talking about tech and stuff, I think it's a perfect segue to talking about how you have to push through adversity and how Mark Zuckerberg basically had to push through. Like, push through. He did.
Man, there's a lot of layers to the reason why he's there and the reason why, he had to fight for his platform as well as his wrongdoings and explain the wrongdoings. Because he's aware of his wrongdoings. We are aware. And I have a lot of opinions on a lot of pieces. But what he had to go through in front of 75-year-old people
for 5 hours.
For 5 hours, teaching the people who should know more, the people who have our lives or our
in
direction
their hands,
their hands, the people who have been voted to be put in these places of power, have no idea, no clue, and then they're interns who are supposed to educate them. I just want to make this clear because I have cousins and people who are in government. So the people outside of them are supposed to educate these old ass people, but sometimes they choose not to listen. So they went up there embarrassing themselves because the person you brought in to put on trial had to fucking teach you everything you needed to know because you sounded like idiots asking questions.
I don't know if they sounded like idiots. I just feel like they sounded more so like, it made me feel like this trial may not even make sense because if these are the people that are the accusers, they might be accusing because they don't understand. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I really started taking it like. I'm like, because we were listening to the whole thing in the background, we were at work. Like, I wasn't going to sit down and watch the whole thing, but if it's background noise, like,
that's what I had it added in the background at work. Yeah.
So, like, hearing the background noise, and sometimes I will hear these questions, just the same question asked 6 different ways. I'm like, this person just clearly doesn't understand. Because it's like, well, these questions are so obvious. Like, yes, the internet has algorithms that gives you promotions based on what you're, like, that's the internet. Isn't that the internet? That's not Facebook.
But that's not, it's the internet. Or, like, how do you have a free platform and make money? It was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, there was just these questions that, yes, exactly. They didn't understand what they were asking. And then that's where I found it 5 hours of a waste of time almost. Because the reason what we were there for was about data breach, was about our information, right?
Yeah.
Was about how this company, which is not coming to the top of my head right now, the British company, had access to data, who was given permission for something, but used it in a negative way. So, yes, he provided this information. He gave the okay. The company flipped and turned into something bad and did something bad with it. So, there's like a double play on here.
But then
he should have been more cautious.
This is not the first time we've been breached somehow, though. Like, this is, like, I feel like, why are we acting like this is the first time that something like this has happened? I'm not saying it's okay. But
no, of course. There's a difference between being breached by hackers and being breached by people who have access, who create their own access to something.
Yeah.
And then there's the being breached by permission.
Yeah.
So this was permission. And the company, though, Cambridge Analytica, was initially just an advertising company, blah, 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 regular access, but were provided some form of access that's different from usual. But they flipped and turned and became bad people. Right. And started feeding us bad things. And started feeding us fake news and memes and all
and then the whole controversy with the Russians supposedly doing cyber, basic terrorism by being able to hack into our Facebook. Like, it became this whole other thing.
Well, yeah. And then there's an actual thing, and I'll post about this. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and so one of the podcasts I listen to is Radiolab, and Radiolab had a piece or documentary on what's it called? Bots. So in Russia, they have a whole warehouse full of people who are bots.
Wow, that's a lot of contacts per person.
So
wow,
just imagine like literal trolls.
Yeah.
all day. Just a shit ton of trolls and people who just make things all day.
I mean,
So-
does anyone out there watch Homeland? Do you watch Homeland?
No, I don't.
This season specifically, it's the storyline is based off of that exactly what you're talking about the Russian bots. Like it's about that. So for those
Yeah.
of you watching Homeland and don't pay attention to like the news, like that's a good example of what Marley's talking about.
And one of the other things too is that people just need to learn accountability. You have to learn, like my Facebook, everyone's Facebook or anyone's Facebook who has been a part of any data breach or any of this issue with data will receive a notification at the top of their Facebook.
Yeah,
And I got mine.
one. Yeah.
Because somebody and the people that I follow downloaded a particular game or did a little quiz, and that's how these things happen. When you do these stupid little quizzes about how many babies you gonna have in like 6 years, or if you having a girl or a boy, like all them foolishness, and all
Yeah.
these websites that look like shit. Like if the website looks like shit, just don't do it.
That's good advice.
But once you get there and you already start, sometimes you can already be grabbed information just from being there. But once you start putting information in, you screwed yourself. So people need to take a little bit more accountability in reading certain things. And so I suggest reading the entire post before clicking on it, which is looking at the descriptions, looking at what the link looks like, being a little bit more cautious about what you're actually going to click on. Sometimes you can tell by the photos or by Photoshops, like being a little bit more smart, be a little bit technically smart, technical savvy, like learn a little bit. You can read links and see how the links read a little bit funny. If there's words in there that literally say spam in the link, don't click it. Look for things that are a valuable source. Like, Huffington Post is a valuable source. Fox News, certain Fox News sites, if that's the direction you read, are valuable sources. You know what I mean? The Hill, Washington Post, like there's these specific things that should be of source. So I think we need to take accountability on a lot of things.
Absolutely, and especially now that, for those of you who are not aware, the most susceptible people to identity theft and our information being compromised are millennials. The highest rate of people who experience any type of identity theft is this age bracket, and it's because of the simple fact that we're too willy-nilly to just click away and insert information and put our card numbers and give our socials out. Like it's as if people don't believe that there's a consequence to it anymore. Like it's just like people just go nuts online and just put all kinds of personal information out there.
And that's why I say you can't blame Mark Zuckerberg on everything. If you blame Mark Zuckerberg on one thing, it's about being in a monopoly. Like that is a whole separate level.
I would love to say a few things about the monopoly.
Monopoly. So, I went to Whole Foods today and I was like, holy shit, I forgot this place is Amazon. Like, you gotta be more cautious, like, about Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. There's a whole line of people and the monopolies that they create. So,
but
that's one factor.
Why should we not think that the reason they're going so hard at Mark Zuckerberg right now is they're trying to avoid his power? Because that's right now, legit. This is Mark Zuckerberg's worth. As of March 25th of 2018, so this is pretty recent, it says that he's worth $62.2 billion.
It went up since the trial.
Yes, it did. The stock went up.
The stock went up since then.
Right. So he has more money, but on record at that time, we knew that he had $62 billion. So the point is that this guy is like what on the Forbes list? Like we have to look that up. He's very high on the Forbes list. He is
under Oprah though.
He is honestly one of the 100 most wealthiest people. So it's like, I think that the government in a way wants to kind of control his power. And I think that that's why they're going hard. I really think that's the true reason behind them trying to take down this huge monster that Facebook is.
And that's why they're probably trying to take down Jeff Bezos also when it comes.
Absolutely.
Jeff Bezos has now, and you have to be aware of what these billionaires own, right? So, like I said, I walked into Whole Foods, I forgot it's Amazon at the same time. And then when you're in Whole Foods, you see the Washington Post, is it the Washington Post or the Washington Journal? One of the two. In the Whole Foods at the same time. Why? Because they own that as well. So like little things like that. You just have to be cognizant of what you're doing. and what you're supporting sometimes or what you're around. But I do think it could be a possibility of them trying to control it. But I do think at the same time, the trial, some of those hours were just wasted hours because these people who, again, we have put into power, whomever we may have voted for, whatever their time there, are not well versed in this. So you're not really
Right.
protecting us because you're not asking the right questions.
But in a way, they are protecting us. I'm going to play the devil's advocate because this is the platform that more than 2 billion people use every month. That level of access and contact can be very dangerous if in the wrong hands. So I can understand how for world order and peace, it may not be the most comfortable feeling that there is something that exists that's not controlled by any government, is controlled by literally, a group of shareholders, but that he actually owns the majority of this. So he really basically he controls this. He controls millions and billions of people all over the planet. So it's like I can understand how they now see the magnitude of what this has become, especially because the acts of terror that have occurred through Facebook postings and fake news and all of that, trying to push a social agenda and brainwash us. These are all really negative things that can happen to a mass number of people. So
Yeah.
I can understand how these numbers are fucking scary. And it's like that the government is like, we gotta control this shit somehow before this gets out of control. Like, look what
Yeah.
happened. So it's now America's responsibility to make sure that they don't allow this to take over the world because he's an American CEO that created something that is the strongest social media platform ever. Like, ever. So it's like, I really think that there's another purpose to all of this scrutiny. And I think the major thing is that this is too big. I think it's just too big.
Yeah. And it's gonna suck if they really try to get control over it. But
Instagram
There's
is
just
where
things-
it's at. I'm telling
but
you.
again, content, the things that are placed and put, we have to take our own accountability on what we click on, what we read, what we think is true and not using a little bit more common sense when it comes to things. Like, I remember one time someone started posting some news saying that a Chinese restaurant in Coral Springs was like shut down because they were serving dog. And like 6 people on my timeline kept posting and how disgusting, and they're like going off and crazy. And I took 5 seconds and I said, wait a minute. On the Broward.org website, you can see the licensing for every single restaurant, and you can see all the ratings for every single restaurant. So what did I do? I Googled the fucking restaurant on the county thing, and guess what's not there? It's not a real restaurant
No way.
the whole time. So me trying to be a little troll because I just hate and I don't like to be a know-it-all in things. Like I don't want to be that person.
There goes my little detective.
I don't want to be this person. But then I just went down everybody who posted it and I said, here's the link to find restaurants and how to
Right.
search.
Right.
And just provided, and then people had to delete everything they posted. And I was like, that's where accountability takes in place. That's
Yeah.
where you just stop and take a moment and just be like, is this for real? Because you know why also? Because they didn't see it on the news. Because
Right.
they didn't see it on any other real news organization anywhere else. Because not just one news organization, not just a blog is going to take it. Multiple blogs or multiple sources will take this. And the county would have announced something like that. We just got to be smart.
That's true. That's a good example of how a rumor becomes facts.
Or attempts to be facts. Yeah, real facts.
Right, but it then becomes facts. It becomes the facts of the people. Because nowadays, what matters is what the facts of what the people believe versus what really the facts are. And I know that that's very sad to say out loud, but that's the truth. Like if we all start saying that, it was raining for 41 days for the month of April, and we say that for the rest of the time and for the next 10 years, whether or not that's true, it's going to go down that's what happened in the month of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It's just like people can say something enough times for it to become what it is. That's the society we live in right now.
Like my friend Charlemagne says, I love Charlemagne the God. He says the lie is more entertaining than the truth.
Yes, correct.
So, but shout outs to Mark Zuckerberg and standing up for us millennials out there. or trying to explain.
And even though you're creating a monopoly, I'm not gonna lie to you. As a natural born entrepreneur and money hungry individual, I must admit that I really admire what you've been able to accomplish, sir.
Yeah, but do you
It's
think
amazing.
he never started that way though? What I think I enjoy more is that he never created this to be that. He just
Yeah, I don't think he ever anticipated this to be this. Of course.
and he never anticipated to be the bajillionaire that he is, right?
Right.
He was just like, I need to make friends. And,
And I'm mad at this bitch.
yeah, and I'm mad at this bitch. And that's why he looked so socially awkward also
Yeah.
when he was speaking. Because then you have to put yourself in, you're like, this guy has no social, he created this because he can't communicate with people.
But most
Like,
most millionaires and billionaires are not the most social butterflies. Everyone's not Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not
Oprah is.
right. But she's one in a. That's Oprah Winfrey. Like she's like, who's gonna that? That happens like every fucking 50 years. Someone like that is created. You know what I mean? That's not every
Yeah.
day. So it's
Yeah.
like. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that most people that are really wealthy are kind of awkward or nerdy.
In some way.
You know what I'm
they
saying?
don't
Because they
too
have
much
the
of a
ability
social.
to focus on the job and not, take shots every weekend and chill. You know, it's different.
All right.
But yeah, but back to trash, okay? We talked about, money and Zuckerberg and Facebook and the true things that motivate us, basically. Listening to billionaires get out of court cases is really the true joy of that type of thing. Now, we do want to talk about something else, which is putting up a strong face when going through a difficult time. And can we please acknowledge that Khloe Kardashian is having to put up a strong face right now?
Chloe, I don't know what it is. Why her all the time?
Why her, yo?
Like, she be going through it. And this, I mean, she does put up a strong face. This family, in essence, you have to admit, and you got to give it to them, they put up some real strong faces. Like, the Kennedy family is known for having jinx and curses.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. The way people died, the way people kind of fell through, or like issues that happen within that family, that happens there. The Kardashians put themselves in a public forum purposely, but things just go awry and go bad and just go completely sideways all the time, and they'll just keep moving forward like nothing's happening.
But isn't that life for everybody, or is it just that they're being punished because they have too much? Because sometimes I
No, that's
ask
everybody.
myself, right, like, isn't
No.
everyone's life kind of fucking twisted?
Yeah. If you change the dynamic of it and put yourself in her feet, like
Yeah.
that could happen to you. Like it could happen to anybody.
Right.
Like,
Like who
that's-
doesn't know a group of sisters that are attractive? Because it happens. There's families that have a bunch of sisters like, damn, these girls are all pretty. You know what I'm saying? And then like two of them have mad babies, and then like one of them is like crazy.
Or like each
you
one
know
of them
what I'm
has
saying?
their own different shit happening. Like, wow, your
Yeah.
sister be having some shit happening. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like that happens.
Yeah.
But like things like this, like your man cheating on you, and like a person being pregnant and the man cheating, that happens to anybody.
Way too much.
The only difference
much.
is paparazzis, and if you saw that video, that paparazzi what seemed to be an investigator, because the way the camera was clicking was a whole
Right.
different level. But the only difference is you have people following you.
But you know what it is right now too? Like they can't. I don't know if this was the Kardashian agenda to kind of keep it surface when she decides to forgive him, so they don't want to put it out there. But like even when I was reading all the like tabloid bullshit, like it's not concrete stuff. It's like he was too close to a girl, or like he,
You
like
didn't see the other video? The
Tell me about
TMZ in the nightclub? The hookah bar one?
wait. Oh, he was kissing the girl, and then the other girl was touching him.
All up on his balls and everything. Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
But that was October. And that's what I don't like, is that whoever had this since October. So maybe they may have been
I think that they
blackmailed.
wanted to fucking hurt the situation and get the best bang for their buck, because now that she gave birth, this is the best time to come up with this shit, because it's like it's taking away the thunder of the joy of another Kardashian baby being born.
Yeah, there's somebody out there out there for her. Well, maybe his baby mom, but
Well, now that bitch is salty because we all know she was still pregnant when he started fucking with Chloe. So once a cheater, always a cheater, maybe. Because according to the tabloids and like a few peopletvwatch.com, which is a pretty legit source, they're calling him a serial cheater. Like, this motherfucker cheats.
Like, he leaves you at 8 months and cheats, or cheats in like the 3rd trimester kind of shit. Like, some OD'd. It's a little crazy.
I don't know. I really
it's
want,
a little much.
like, it's to the point that I need a guy that has cheated on his girl while she's pregnant to come on the show anonymously and explain why it is that so many men cheat when women are pregnant. Like, I really want someone to be straight up and just say what it is. Be honest. Is it because you gained weight? Is it because the sex is less frequent? Like, just tell
Are you
us.
scared?
Yes. What is the real reason?
What is the reason? Because, by the way, this man is like 6'4".
No,
like, you're not
he's taller.
hiding.
He's taller than that.
He's tall as shit, and you're not hiding in a club with another girl who's not Chloe. Like, this don't make no sense.
He's at least, like, I don't know facts, but he's at least 6'6". He's a really tall guy.
He's a tall
really
ass
tall
dude.
guy.
Like, you have to bend down to get through the doors.
Yeah.
And you think people are not going to notice you with another woman?
He doesn't give
I don't
a
understand.
fuck.
Yeah, and he really, truly doesn't care. I mean, he went to the hotel room with the girl. Like, it's really bad. And nothing a woman can do but put a strong face, especially at 9 months or about to deliver, which she did.
She did.
You can't put that stress on you, because now you're bringing in a whole nother person into this world, and now you're gonna bring in a whole, like, and we have all watched her journey of trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
With Lamar Odom of all people.
Yeah. You saw that meme?
Okay.
When when your ex gets cheated on by her new dude, some shit like that.
Oh,
and
Lord.
like, it's Lamar Odom smiling.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, that's another one. A brothel full of women and you're drugged and overdosed.
Yikes.
Like,
Yikes.
I mean, that is not my storyline, but she got a storyline.
Like, you would think that sometimes people's bottoms are those type of moments, but everybody's bottom is really not
Different.
timed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very different.
I mean, but shout out to, speaking of Beyonce put a strong face and just be still out here. And the rumors of cheating were for a while before they actually addressed them. If you really think about it, the rumor of cheating of Jay-Z being with another woman was before the elevator incident.
And it was also like people putting out songs on YouTube like, I fucked your man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there was
Like,
stuff going on. Yeah.
Some real shit happening before the elevator. The elevator incident sealed the deal that shit went down.
Yeah.
And we would have never known about that if someone wasn't on the other side watching that video tape.
But look at Kevin Hart's wife. We all saw Kevin Hart cheat, unless, by the way, we all forgot. Like, it's just like that shit vanished.
And he was cheating. Like, he was for real.
And they caught him having sexual intercourse with someone else on tape. And, like, she was very pregnant and about to give birth. And it's like she had to push through and just put up a front and, like, put up pictures of her happy family. God knows what kind of difficult time she was probably going through. She did that for her marriage. You feel me?
Yep.
She kept the persona up for her marriage.
Exactly. So I think it's a strong face for us women outside of the limelight is getting through to like our families and friends. Like, I don't like embarrassment.
Yeah.
And those are one of those things like I'm a person who gets embarrassed for people who are being embarrassed. Like, you ever watch like a bad singing TV contest and you'll be like cringy?
You hate to see the train wreck.
I can't watch that. And so in real life aspects, when things like that are happening, I hate to be a part of that. I'd hate to be, caught up in something like that. So I can only imagine what real life, like, just outside of the limelight is like. But in the limelight is a whole other level of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it really, really hurts.
That's the con of being famous.
Yeah,
for
sure. But shout outs to her, and hopefully she had a easy, smooth delivery, and hopefully he's not a dick the whole time. Like,
if this is true or not, it's really going to be the determining factor, in my opinion, how I feel towards this. Because at the end of the day, I know everybody wants Chloe to be happy, and like we want this to work for her, but it's like, damn, bro, she's, at the end of the day, she's a really beautiful woman that has a lot of money and that is nuts about you. Be more respectful. Like, it's like, come on. Like, it's not even about like that she's pregnant or not. It's just like, like you understand that your actions are going to be amplified, magnified, and taken to another level because of the person you chose to be in a relationship with.
Yep.
Your career is probably doing better and you're selling more game seats because you're dating someone that famous. And you, off of that alone, that you're making more money, you're probably getting more endorsement deals or franchising deals because of the fact that you're associated with a Kardashian and you don't have enough respect to at least be discreet. You feel me? It's like, it's not about the cheating. It's like, you don't respect me enough to not put me through this really embarrassing shit on a really public way. Like, I feel like as a human, as a person, it has nothing to do with being a man or a woman. Respect me more than embarrassing me like that. Like, Jesus Christ.
They booed him at the next game.
That's what they do when you fuck up on these girls.
Can you? But yo, let that shit, like, real life. What would a regular woman have happened to a man if that happened? Like, see, he gets embarrassed on the court, right? Like, his place of work.
Yeah.
In real life.
That'd be amazing if you can, like, go and get the whole office to boo your fucking man when he walks into the job. Boo. As soon as
Cheater. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
A real woman don't have the opportunity to get that. So at least Chloe got that. Like, you got embarrassed just as equally possible as she did. So that, I think, is fucking amazing. Shout outs to whoever out in Cleveland came out with that shit. Because that was perfection to me. And the comments under his page are perfect.
They call him a scam artist, a savage, a scumbag.
No, but have you seen the I hope?
No.
Like, I hope when you wake up in the morning, your toilet seat is super fucking cold. Like little things like that irritate you.
Yeah.
Like, you don't mean harm on someone. You just hope like oh, I hope you wake up and you forget your keys are locked in the car. Like, just dumb shit. Like, the comments are amazing. So,
or your charger breaks and the shit dies.
Yes, like little things like that were under his comments all weekend. So shout outs to y'all. I am going to post a question on Messy Mondays podcast asking, once a cheater, always a cheater?
Yeah, good question.
And you guys let us know your thoughts and comment below. And we can talk about it in your responses in the coming week.
Yes, now let's talk about women not sharing the crown and just having to segue that and saying the Nicki and the Cardi drama. Like, that's an example of two queens not being able to share a crown. Because it's like, why is it that Nicki can't be famous and so can Cardi? Like, why is it that it has to be one or the other? I really want to know the answer to the question.
I don't know your answer to that. I don't know.
Like, why? Like, why can't they both just coexist? There's been plenty of male artists. Like, for example, Kendrick Lamar is huge in music. Huge. Not only hip-hop and rap. Like, he's huge in music. Right? So is Drake.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, I don't see beef with them or problems with them both being really relevant. Why can't Nicki and Cardi both be relevant? I don't get it.
When you compare it to Kendrick and Drake, you're right. Because they're both equally. Well, here's the difference also. And I'll get to it in a second. But Drake and Kendrick are equally great performers, great deliverers, and provided body of work that's really good. Why I think people have an issue between trying to share or trying to be kind or whatever to one another when it comes to Nicki and Cardi is because Cardi only has one body of work and Nicki has a couple. But I don't think that matters. I think it's just about popularity. Like, everybody can be popular. Like, they can all just be, main focuses and main forefronts in the music industry. I think when they actually don't get along, like the Meek and Drake situation,
Okay.
you kind of start choosing a side.
Yeah, but I'm gonna jump in with the Meek and Drake. Meek, and aside from the fact what Meek is going through right now, there's a different level of compassion towards Meek Mill, so the culture has shifted. Prior to this being a sensitive subject because of Meek Mill's legal battles and issues and controversy and everybody having a very strong opinion about that, a lot of people lost their relationship with Meek Mill because of Drake. However, that beef was directed because they directly were saying things to one another on music that was they were throwing shots. There was beef. There was even Nicki commented how difficult that process was for her because she loved Drake and she loved her man. But because of the relationship that she had with both, she had to always keep herself out of it as much as possible, and that was very difficult. I do believe that that may have been very difficult for her. So that's a different dynamic versus Cardi and Nicki. I don't think Cardi B is saying that she's anyone. I don't think she's saying that she's Nicki or not. Like, it's like, I don't think she's even comparing herself to anyone. So it's like, I feel like the media created this shit. That's number one. And then number two, I don't think Nicki has handled the media shit properly. Like, what she should have done was just ignore everything because it just made her look bad to even entertain the subject. Honestly.
Yeah. And Cardi did it, and like in the most recent Cardi interview, she said, I don't have a problem with her. Everyone just keeps making it something. You know, people commenting, the media, people wanting to egg people on, whatever. People just keep pushing it that way. And then she says she genuinely doesn't have an issue. There's no problem. People just trying to make it into something. And I kind of believe that. And I can see how the comments and how the radio and how the commentary and all that shit can boil into something being created, because it's putting things in people's ear.
Right. And drama creates conversation and trending topics, and it keeps them on the top of Twitter feeds, and it keeps them on the top of the Instagram posts, and it keeps them on the top of the internet Google searches. So I can understand the PR type of subliminal promotion that they're giving us right now.
I think, though, Nicki doesn't know how to take criticism very well when it comes to things. And in the most recent interviews, she seems very, like, I don't know why we brought this back up. Like in my head.
Yeah. I think it was very corny that she said that she was upset that she didn't get the accolade, admirational type of thank you from Cardi. Like, it's like, all right, I get it, but relax. You feel me? Like, okay.
But people also said that you didn't do the same for Lil' Kim.
Correct.
So, like, what's your... You know what I mean? Like, people are saying, like, you didn't do the same for Kim, right? Although I don't think her and Lil' Kim have a song together. But essentially, you're asking for accolades and having Cardi be excited and happy that she's on a record with you. Apparently, she's not happy about it because you might have been some type of person towards her or acted some sort of way prior to that or something.
Well, why is that the standard rule? Like, I don't recall all MCs going on the radio saying thank you so much to A, B, and C. Not always.
I don't know.
Like, why is that like the 101 of how to be a rapper? Like, that doesn't mean that.
I don't know. I think people always find it like you have to pay respect to everybody before you. And that's fine. But what if I don't really care for the person before me? So, like, it wasn't my interest.
I'm not a fan of the personality that's translating out of Nicki Minaj recently. I don't know if this is just a bad spin on things, so now I have a negative taste in my mouth about her. But like, she is coming across like as her personality is someone that I wouldn't like in real life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she looks like she's kind of nasty. And it's like, I don't really like girls that are nasty. And when I mean nasty, I don't mean nasty like hygiene nasty. I mean like nasty like attitude.
Yeah.
So, like I don't
I'm
know.
better than you kind of attitude. Not I'm better than you, but like, yeah, there's this particular attitude. You were like, oh, okay.
Like, yeah, like they say unnecessary mean things. You know, those kind of girls. That is like they sometimes have a way of kind of downgrading anything you do by saying little words or comments, like a nasty bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like she kind of gives me that vibe. No.
Yeah, it kind of translates really weird when you're watching her on video. It's a really weird kind of... But I'm happy Nicki took a break off of social media, because that was something she really, truly needed to do, because in the time of things running, she was really, really being that nasty person. Like, you can feel it. And everyone was like, I think she needs to break, because everyone was feeling that same energy through it, which is why she took a break from it. Because, and I'll tell you, Motorsport, her verse on Motorsport is dope as hell.
It's the best song of the whole song.
That song is really good. Yeah. The songs that she was putting out before that were terrible. Yeah. And did nothing.
I mean, I like Black China. Or I'm sorry, they get Black China. Chung Lee. Sorry, shout out to Black China. Chung
No,
Lee,
these songs are seem a little bit more refreshed.
yeah, it's good. I mean, I don't like the fact that it's so obvious that this was like against a Cardi blow up. I don't like stuff like that. Like I feel like let the artists have their week. You know what I'm saying? And let the other artists have their week. It's like I don't think that this is necessary competition. Like it's like Nikki, your tracks are probably gonna be popping anyway. Like why do you have to do this? You're a better lyrical rapper than Cardi B. Cardi B is just more likable and approachable, and people care about her, and like she's won over the American audience because people think that she's a Cinderella. So it's like let her have that lane. You keep being a beast. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like why does it have to be? I don't know. After Remy Ma embarrassed you, just you feel me?
I'll never forget waking up that Saturday with that shit.
Pretty much.
That shit ate her up alive. No, but it's true. Cardi is out here just being her natural self. It's really weird how just like open and unedited she is, or trying not to be per se, or is trying to be, and how Nicki is out here being edited. Or trying to be very just like a whole different. I don't know, but
It's weird, and it's like the female power part of me inside of me is trying to say, guys, come on, cut this shit out. This is so stupid. Like, don't let these people influence you for it to look like women don't know how to work together. Like, let her do her thing, you do your thing, and y'all both get checks. Let it go. But then there's another part of me that also feels like this is petty, jealous shit. Like, Nikki, it's not your turn right now. Like, relax.
yeah,
It's just not your turn.
just let people have their part.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. You're doing fine with or without. Her Coachella outfit I did not like, but that's another story.
Sometimes it's too much. You know, it's too much sometimes.
It definitely is. I mean, hopefully she continues putting out some good music. Cardi's album I have enjoyed.
Yeah, for sure.
I've definitely have my favorites on there. Nicki, Chung Lee, I gave it 2 chances, and by the second run, I was into it. I haven't tried Barbie Things Over Again. The beat is nice, but you know, saying words like kingdom with my Timbs on, like, it just bothers me.
Yeah.
I can't do that rhyme anymore. I can't do those bitches is my sons.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Maybe you should team up with Safari again. Let him write a few things.
Oh, Safari.
Yeah. There was a good duo, you know, if they can get past their shit.
Because Safari can write. He just can't rap.
Oh my God, he cannot. Please stop, Safari. I mean that in the nicest way.
But Safari popping on here because that videotape did some work for him. If you have not seen
He's
that.
He's popping for all the reasons that have nothing to do with him being a rapper. So,
no.
You feel me? Like, it's
he's
like,
hilarious though.
Yeah.
He's somebody like him. That's why it's great.
Especially in Lauderdale, Florida. Because he reminds me of a lot of Jamaican guys in Lauderdale,
Florida. That's what
Florida.
I'm saying. Like, he reminds you of someone. You're just like, let this fool be.
Yeah.
You're Jamaican out here just swinging his stuff all over. Just let him be.
Right.
So, Cardi, you might need to holla at Safari to write some words for you. For sure. I mean, not Cardi. Oops.
Crazy. Oh.
I meant Nicki.
Wow. That's how the rumors really start.
That's how shit pops off. It's Nicki girl.
Fast forward, the baby's not even offsets. It's like Safari's. Imagine.
Oh.
That's
wild. That would be wild. Like, people are saying that Kylie's baby is probably Tyga's.
Why?
But I don't see that. I don't know. People just starting shit. But I see a lot of Kylie in the baby.
Shout out to Mama Jenner managing Travis Scott now. And
I heard that rumor wasn't true.
No?
I heard that, no. I went back and read it again, and that one, I was like, because I had a freak out moment.
Yeah.
God, please don't let Kanye ever sign to that woman.
I don't think Kanye's going to. I thought that was
I thought that was I went back and, because Complex posted it, and then Complex retook it back, and I was like, thank you, Jesus. Because I almost had a heart attack if that was the case. Because we would never have the same Kanye again. We lost Kanye once.
Yeah, we did lose Kanye.
Can't lose Kanye again.
Yeah.
So, one topic we didn't touch on, and maybe we'll dive on this a little bit later, the Fabulous and Emily B
Oh my God.
matter. And I think we can have this topic conversation next week. And
I think
kind
we
of,
should definitely just have like an entire segment about that whole relationship because wow.
not just the relationship, but also the dynamics of just an artist as an artist and an artist as a person in real life, and how we separate those two sometimes. Like, the Chris Brown and his situation, the R. Kelly, like those kind of things.
Wow.
Well, no,
yeah, I get it.
So we'll save this conversation for another day, and we can dive deep into there. Maybe we'll ask the crowd also on our Instagram. So if you have any questions or have any stories or anything you'd like to submit to us, make sure to email us at messymondayspod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at Messy Mondays Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Messy Mondays Pod. Follow me at LoveMarley _. Follow Show Me
at SHOMI_ENT. And make sure to stay in contact with us if you have any topics or any stories you want to share. If you guys feel passionately about anything we've already said, we have no problem circling back to any of the past episodes. Also, shout out to everyone who's listening to us in all the states. Another shout out to one of our special fans, Merlis. Really appreciate your loyalty. I know your sister told me you listen to every single episode, so that's pretty cool. Shout out to New York City and Manhattan, Uptown, the Heights, Dykeman, Inwood, all that. So we really appreciate
I'll be in New
support.
York for a week for work, and I'm excited.
Oh, when is that?
In May.
May. Here you go, guys. Now you're gonna know
It'll be
Marley's gonna be in the
spring.
building, guys.
It'll be spring. It'll be amazing, and I just can't wait to be in the city.
Yes, of course. That's nice. Maybe we might be up there at the same time. That'll be nice.
Yes.
But yes, thank you so much. And if you guys are interested in ever being involved in another empowerment session, you can hit up me or Marley. We would love to participate in anything that's going on in Seattle or Miami. If you want us to be a part of your woman's empowerment process, planning events, or whatever the case may be, Messy Mondays will be more than happy to support. Just contact us because we do believe in the development of women and
Yes, we
us
do.
supporting one another.
Thank you, guys.
Messy Mondays.
Messy Mondays.